What's up, guys? This is your dude, the fam dude here. We are doing another character analysis, this time with our beautiful little Sucrose. Such a goofball. Anyways, guys and gals, I hope you're enjoying these, because I know I am. And if I don't enjoy anything, I enjoy my girl Sucrose. Now, I've been playing her for a long bit. She's probably second in my command here, behind Jean. I mean, Jean's 66, Sucrose is 60, she's right there. Now, here's the thing. I've been playing her wrong. And I hate to say this, but I've been playing her wrong. Let me tell you why. Let's start with her attacks, and we'll get into the real reason why I've been screwing up. So, normal attack is pure Anemo damage. It's not physical. I mean, if it's a wind type, like the wind boss, you cannot do any damage to it with Sucrose by herself. So all the damage is pure Anemo damage. It's not going to do anything good. Elemental skill is Anemo damage AoE. So again, if you're stacking Anemo damage, it's amazing, but it's pure Anemo damage again. I mean, yeah. Her freaking burst is the thing that you're going to love Sucrose for. Again, dealing AoE Anemo damage. If you do not add anything else to the burst, it is pure Anemo. But if you add Hydro, Pyro, Cryo, Electro, any of those, whatever you add first in there, that burst becomes that type. And what that's going to do is going to have a lot of very special effects when you start looking at her constellations and other attributes. So like you can see, an elemental damage is 55%, dot's 185, duration 6 seconds. It's a lot of mumbo jumbo. But you see, it gets really interesting when you go into the constellations. First off, so our girl has 3 passives. At Ascension 1, she gets Catalyst Conversion. So when there's a swirl effect, like her burst, the magic elemental types in the party gain 50 elemental mastery for 8 seconds. So if you have, let's say, we'll go to our girl here, Xingling. We throw her out, throw her little bear down, it shoots fire, and it gets into that AoE, that burst. Now, because that burst is now it's a pyro type burst, now all pyro types in our party, including Xingling, will get now a plus 50 elemental mastery bonus. This is big brain for when you want to do some dirty work. More on that in a minute. Her second passive you get at Ascension 4 called Mollis Favonius. So basically when your E or when your elemental skill or elemental burst hit, it increases your party's elemental mastery based on 20% of Sucrose's total elemental mastery for 8 seconds. So again, this has really good ramifications if you're mixing it with certain other, party members, like say a support Xingling or a support Fischl. I mean, you can go pretty dirty with this group. I'll get into it. Don't worry. Constellation 1, Clustered Vacuum Field. You gain 1 extra charge for your elemental skill. The Anemo, that thing. You get 1 extra charge, so you don't get just 1 hit and then you have to wait. You get 2 hits, which is amazing. That's more Anemo damage you're putting out. It's more damage that it's more of a vacuum going nuts there, and it brings things closer, and that's what you want. You want them to stay close. That way when you pop your burst, everything's right there. The burst pulls it in, everything close, boom. It's amazing. Beth Unbound Form. Your burst duration is increased by 2 seconds. Doesn't sound like much, right? 2 seconds, but that's an extra hit on the burst. It's extra time to add that pyro, that cryo, that hydro, that electro. Whatever you're trying to add into there to get that elemental mastery boost. Like, say, again, you have Fischl. Let's say you went, you know, elemental mastery support Fischl. And you want to, like, set up for Oz. You know, you go ahead and you do your burst. You switch her out. You bring Fischl in with Oz. Boom. It does the damage. Now Fischl has elemental mastery bonus on Oz. And when you use your Midnight Phantasmagoria, now that has extra damage too. So you're just stacking, and it's crazy how much work you can get when you have more constellations. Your mastery can go over in the 200s. Hell, way over if you just keep going like this. If you build Sucrose as pure elemental mastery with a little bit of recharge, it could be disgusting. It's going from support to support to support, because each support that you switch into has more damage than the last one, more or less. Flawless Alchemist. Basically, your skill gets plus 3 levels. So your little vacuum, it gets a little bit stronger. So it does more Anemo damage. I mean, you've seen Constellations by now. It's just more damage. Alchemania. Every 7 normal or charged attacks, your elemental skills cooldown, it's reduced by anywhere between 1 to 7 seconds. So that's faster. Remember, you get 2 charges at this point. You have 2 charges of that skill. If you just keep normal attacking, you can throw it out. Like, so go vacuum, hit, vacuum, and you just keep going with that rotation, thrusting Anemo damage until you get your burst up. I mean, she can go to town. Caution Standard Flask, her 5th one, plus 3 levels on that burst. I'm telling you, that burst is nothing to play with, because that's, again, her burst is a swirl, and the elemental damage that gets added to it is nuts. It's dumb. It's stupid. It's broken, and I love it. I love it. I haven't been using it to its full potential, and I already noticed how much of a damage boost that she's doing. When, remember, my Sucrose in this, you'll see, she is not built correctly. I did not know how to build her. I didn't know what it meant to build her the right way until I did this video. I'm going to be making some big changes. And we're going to be building her for maximum swirl damage, for maximum elemental mastery passives to be thrown onto other party members. You're going to see a big change in future streams, in future gameplays. That being said, if you're not part of the channel, make sure you're subscribed, because you're going to want to see how crazy we can make Sucrose and our other party members after this video. And finally, after that shameless plug, level 6, elemental absorption occurs with your burst. And at that point, all party gains 20% elemental damage for the elemental that was part of that swirl. So again, follow me on this one. You get Xiangling, you bring her out, Bear. Bear shoots fire because of the spicy pepper. Fire goes into the swirl for the burst. Now, not only are you getting an elemental mastery bonus, now you're getting elemental damage bonus. And it's all during the duration of the skill. This is what's going to help you clear Spiral Abyss that much quicker. Because not only are you bringing everything into that one location, using both your elemental skill and elemental burst, but now you're stacking other supports. Other things that are meant to do damage with swirls. When you look at elemental mastery, my friends, you're looking at, right here, looking at the overall damage of a swirl, how much it does. How much stronger your elemental energy can be released. When that percentage is stupid high, and your damage is going off the walls, that's when you know you're really kicking ass. And sorry for dropping it, but I'm going to drop at least one good word every so often here. So, having multiple supports that focus on elemental mastery with Sucrose and party is broken. Especially if you're running like a 2 Anemo, 2 fire type, like 2 pyro, or 2 Anemo, 2 electro, if you have Bidoof or Fischl. I mean, the possibilities are endless, except for Geo, because I mean, you can't run Geo. Let's just be honest. You can't. You can't. So, my girl here, I have her using Otherworldly Story. This is a stand-in for what I'm going to be using later, my Map of Mare. I've been working on the Map of Mare on the back scenes while I'm trying to keep her going through dungeons to level up her talents. So, Map of Mare triggers elemental reaction, like triggering an elemental reaction with SWIRL. Grants you 10% bonus elemental damage. So that SWIRL is doing more damage while she's out there. Hell, it's doing more damage regardless, because look at the mastery. It's up. It's going. It's stacking. It's going nuts. For your artifact, you want to run Instructor. I don't have a full Instructor set, I don't believe, on her right now, because I was focusing more on recharging. Because I wanted more skills, and I wanted more bursts. You can run Recharge. But because of the passive at Ascension 4, that 20% Sucrose Elemental Mastery that you're going to be passing out, like passing to your party for that 8 seconds, if you are running a support Elemental Mastery group, you're going to want to give them as much of that Elemental Mastery. That way when they come in and drop the bear or drop Oz, or if you have Cheat Sheet with Elemental Mastery, when you have that spirit going around, you're going to want them to do stupid amounts of damage. And this is how you can guarantee that. You want to make sure you stack Elemental Mastery. Energy recharge is fine. So like when you go into your artifacts, you see I got Anemo damage, Elemental Mastery. It's only a 3-star goblet, but it has what I want on it right now. The energy recharge is not going to do you any good. But if we look at, let's see, the Instructor's Pocket Watch. Elemental Mastery right here, plus 80. Then after using Elemental Skill, increases all party members' Elemental Mastery by 120. Again, it's another way to stack Elemental Mastery on a support character that's built Elemental Mastery. Like, it's big brain, 200 IQ, big PP, like, damage right there. If you've seen the Bennett video, he's great. He's beautiful with his, like, massive attack. This is the other end of the spectrum. If you're not stacking attack and you want to stack Elemental Mastery, especially with Diluc again, him stacked with Elemental Mastery is sick. So, I mean, you can throw in, like, say, a Bennett, Barbara, a Sucrose, Diluc team, and just make your Diluc do stupid amounts of damage between his attack, his Elemental Mastery, the Barber switch out with the Thrilling Tales. I mean, how much more do you need? This does stupid damage. And it can do so much more. Plus, if you do run that team, you have the other plus that Bennett and Diluc are both Pyros, plus 25% attack. I just gave you one of the best teams I can personally think of right now. That's if you get lucky enough to pull one, though. Because Diluc is a 5-star, you might have to get it through a couple pity pools in order to get them, if you get them. But Instructor is where it's at on here. I can't argue with it. It just is. You want to go Instructor. You can go, Viridescent, Vernier. I can't, it just sucks. I'm not even going to second take that. It just sucks. But that'll boost your Anemo damage if you're not going to do the whole swirling. Oh, and then, if you do get extra swirl, if you run the 4 set on it, you can increase your swirl damage by 60%. And you can actually reduce the enemy's elemental resistance to whatever swirl that is by 40% for 10 seconds. So, again, it might be, I know you want to stack Elemental Mastery, but maybe Viridescent is good if you want to try to give more power to whoever's coming in next. Because Elemental Mastery only goes so far. But Viridescent, if you play it right, you can have whatever it is even weaker to what you're doing. Like, say your enemy is we'll just say a stupid Hilichurl, because that's the only thing I can think of right now. With Viridescent, the Viridescent artifact, because I'm not going to say the second word ever again, you get plus 60% swirl damage. So you bring the bear in for Xingling. The bear does the fire attack. Plus, it already does the damage. You get extra elemental mastery because you already got all the constellations for Sucrose naturally. And then on top of that, it's doing plus 60% damage. And the enemy's taking another 40% extra damage because it's not going to be able to resist it because of your force set of the Viridescent artifact. I mean, that's how you build it. It's hard not to have it built that way. It's the perfect setup. There is no other way to really go, unless there's more artifacts that are released later on. I mean, you can either stack Elemental Mastery if Sucrose is gonna be how you're gonna stack Elemental Mastery for your support, or if you want to run support into support, then Viridescent might be the better option for you. As far as using Sucrose, I think I've covered pretty well. I usually would say use Sucrose as a boost support for Fischl or for Xingling. That we can boost elemental mastery damage. And you can also use like Exile and Scholar, like I was using for elemental recharge. But I wouldn't really recommend it. You can build, as far as artifacts, you want to be looking out for elemental mastery. You want energy recharge. I mean, attack and attack percent are going to increase your Anemo damage. Anemo percentage straight on. The damage bonus right there is beautiful for your basic attacks and your elemental skill, your E attack if you're on PC. It's not going to do much for your swirl damage once you make the swirl into a pyro swirl or anything like that, but if you're just using Sucrose straight up for like an attacker for some weird reason, hey, it works. But that's about all that could be said about Sucrose. She's really good. Like I said, she's been my second in command. She's my second. I love her. I've been running Sucrose with Jean. If you've been watching my streams recently, she's been my second. She's actually the second. She's my lead for my second group in Spiral Abyss right now. And I'm going to be making Xingling and Fischl into Elemental Mastery users. And I'm going to be making them into their own party, so I can hopefully get their Spiral Abyss quicker and more efficiently without any deaths, prolonged time, or anything like that. Especially taking advantage of, again, the Elemental Mastery stacking, the swirl effects, and just crowd control with the vacuum. I mean, again, this is another case of, same thing with Bennett. When I first got her, I thought she was trash. She was not good. I don't want to use her. I hate her. I'm a physical type attacker. You know, give me Jean. She has a sword. She stabs things. I don't like book users. But when I got to actually playing her, even as stupid as it's built right now with only 45 elemental mastery, she is doing like outrageous amounts of damage and doing all kinds of crowd control. Adding Sucrose to your team, if you give it a shot, you might not regret it, especially if you build the team around her, or if you add her to a pre-existing team that has an elemental support, again, like Xingling, Chi-Chi, or Fischl, that is going to be putting out the elemental damage. But let me know in the comments what you guys think, if there's anything I missed, if there's any other weapons or artifacts that you would recommend, and by all means, let me know. If you're not part of the Discord, go ahead and join the Discord. We have our own section down in Discord for Genshin Impact exclusively, where you can, you know, comment on videos. You can show off your team composition. You know, let us know what you think about Genshin Impact. You know, and just come and join our community. It's really nice, really nice. But that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. Again, if you notice anything that maybe I didn't go over well, or maybe I could have been more clear on, let me know in Discord. I'll be glad to go over anything and any questions you have in Discord. But thank you guys so much for watching, and I see you in the live streams on YouTube. Peace.